What's up, Dolphin Nation? What's up, Finstock Nation? Again, I appreciate the support. Today we're going to go ahead and cover Miami Dolphins Day 2 of training camp. First, I'm going to show you a pass breakup from Kader Kohu, the pass breakup, and then I'm going to show you some footage from the linebackers putting in the work. Then the morning huddle. You're going to all see this in the video. And I want you to take a guess as to who got the jersey, the orange jersey, during Miami Dolphins Day 2 training camp, and put it down below before I pop up the video. I'm going to give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to pop up a throw by Tua. That was an amazing dots. And guys, it's official. Artie Burns has torn his ACL. He tore his ACL yesterday. I'll go ahead and pop up a tweet confirming that he tore his ACL. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop up a tweet of an update on lineman Matos that was provided. Another update. And now, once I pop up all those tweets, we're going to go ahead and start listening to the first player that met with the media. Unfortunately, Mike McDaniel did not meet with the media on Day 2 of Miami Dolphins training camp. The first person that met with the media is Zach Zeeler. So we can go ahead and get the show on the road. But I hope you like all the videos and all the information I've been able to provide through the pop-ups and the tweets and all that stuff.
I got to get my routine right because I'm very kind of routine orientated. So like it's an adjustment, but I'm excited for it. Like it's nice to kind of get in here, get practice, kind of lock in you a little like half hour, 45-minute meeting with your coach, make some adjustments, and then go right to practice. So I like it.
Zach, I know you prefer to talk about football, but we got to ask.
Yeah.
You already
yeah.
Do you feel you've outplayed that contract that you signed 2 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, so God's blessed me with amazing seasons here in Miami. I'm so fortunate to have the time I've had here and continue to have here. Obviously, all that stuff is between me and the team. What I really care about is getting out there on the field with the guys and building that camaraderie and the leadership with them. Getting to play next to KG, JP again, Chubb, Chop, all those guys. It's so good to be out there with those guys. I mean, summer's great and all, but, after a while you kind of start going crazy. And it's so nice to get here, get into routine again, and really start to build that camaraderie and be with the guys again. So it's been a blessing.
Zach, if I could just kind of briefly follow there. Obviously, guys have their own decision-making when they handle their business. You saw how Jonu's situation happened earlier with sitting out and getting traded. Why did you make the route?
So I'm not going to talk an analyst's decision. I think everyone's decision is their own path, their own journey. I have my path and my journey, and I think that, prayed about it a bunch, talked to my wife, talked to my family, and, end of the day, I'm going to be me. What got me to this point, what's got me here so far, and that's what I'm going to do every day. So that's how I take this approach.
Zach, we saw that you were limited, obviously, in the spring, but now you're out here.
Yeah.
You're really out here. Why the change, and do you foresee that continuing throughout training camp?
So the change, OTAs is obviously voluntary, training camp's not, and that really didn't have much to do with any of this. It really came down to is being able to get here. Season's right around the corner, 4 or 5 weeks away, and I want to be out here and be with the guys, like I talked about earlier, and build that culture to have a fast start to the season and carry that on all the way to the winter.
Zach, will your participation level in practice change once the pads come on, or the drills that you do?
We're not there yet. I'm not going to speculate. Right now, I'm out there with these guys. I'm going to keep being out there with these guys, and we're going to keep growing as a unit.
Zach, you talk about building that camaraderie. What's been the best part about just being in training camp and just kind of like start getting all the guys together?
Yeah. So it's you're with each other all the time in the spring, half days, but then to be able to come back after a few weeks off and really kind of dig in. We're here 10, 12 hours a day, whatever it is, and really kind of just be with the guys and be with the new guys, some older faces that maybe are more vocal now, and that like Jordan Brooks got here last year. Me and him really started clicking last season because it's not immediate. You can't build a relationship out of thin air. And nothing beats that more than time. So to have that time with these guys and be able to work with them from day in and day out, and not even on the field, just in life. Hey, I got an issue off the field, like something's going on back home, whatever. Just talking through it and just being vocal about it all. Sorry, whoever that is. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the best part.
Zach, I know a couple of guys mentioned that Kenneth is essentially attached to your hip, trying to learn from you. How have you maybe embraced that role, that aspect of?
So I don't know who said that, but KG's a great guy. It's been awesome working with him. He's willing to learn. He wants to learn. What was said to me in Baltimore was be a sponge. Terrell Suggs said it. Brandon Williams said it. And I make sure to relay that every year to the rookies. And I think that's the most crucial thing is college, you can be the greatest player in college. NFL's a whole different ballgame. We're looking for the smallest plays, inches, errors, whatever you can take to win the game. So to be out there and to lead and to teach these guys how the NFL changes from college is exciting.
What is your, I guess if I could follow there, what's your route of that? You mentioned the sponge of how you learn. What, is there any ways you maybe tried to help him?
Routine. Ask questions when you don't know. And follow the guys that have done it right for so many years. Could be me, could not be me. My routine might not work for somebody, and that's fine. There's going to be someone else in the team in your position room or not that will have a routine probably like yours or like how you are as a human. So that's how that is.
As a rookie, is it hard to get past that wall of asking when you don't know something so that you don't want to look like you don't know something?
So I had that issue, but I definitely had that struggle. You don't want to be the guy to ask a stupid question. And yeah, you can say there's no stupid questions, but when you're a rookie, you feel like everything you want to think and ask is stupid, or some guys think it's just common knowledge. But just asking those questions, and honestly, it's finding a guy that you can entrust and build a relationship outside of football where you feel confident enough to ask him one of those questions. And they're like, oh yeah, dude, like maybe you ask your lineman, you ask the DB, like, hey, what's this? He might not know what it is, but he's like, hey, that's not a dumb question. Just ask the guy. And pulling guys aside and doing that. It might not need to be in team meetings or D-line meetings, but just one-on-one, and you can get those answers.
How much do you love to see Benito get that orange jersey today?
Yeah.
And what do you think he needed to earn?
Man, he's worked his tail off this summer. He looks great. He's actually have never sworn. So that was not coming. You can ask anybody. That's something my whole life I've never cussed. But anyways, I heard you guys laughing. But he's worked his tail off this summer, and it's been awesome to see him kind of come into camp energetic and ready to go. And it showed yesterday, and I think it showed again today. So he earned it through and through, and hopefully we can keep rolling.
We're going to replay the Hard Knocks tapes, by the way, to find out if that's true.
Go ahead. Promise.
As one of the leaders of this group, is there something different that you're approaching this particular season for the locker room? You know, obviously we're still months away from that first game, but something that you specifically want to do?
Yeah, I think one of our goals this summer or this spring was to be more communicative, to not let things build under the sheets. Don't throw things to the side. Put things out on the table. Not breadcrumbs. Don't let things build up to a big pile. As it happens, talk about it. And if you can take that head on, you can take that approach and not get offensive and take it on the chin like a man and just be like, hey, look, this is what's going on. We need to fix this. Or it's not going on. We need to fix it and stay ahead of things. I think that's how we're going to be great this year.
Zach, with you, the team has come to the table early and gotten the deal done twice previously. Obviously, as a show of respect. But now you're kind of one of the lowest paid defensive tackles in the league. Do you feel like this is a critical point for you in terms of turning 30 and making sure that you're financially secure?
So we have more than we ever imagined. I am beyond blessed from these last 7 years alone. My wife and I love how our life has turned out, and it's just been awesome. Now I do feel like I do feel that respect coming, and I feel like I've earned it. I know I've earned it. And I think something that we always joke about, my wife and I, is I played at D2. Christian likes to tell me that all the time. He still does. He told me that before we started camp. I was cut twice, all that stuff. I know I have the best years ahead of me. I didn't play for 3 years in the NFL. I only played 2.5 in college. So you really think about it, like I got less years under my belt than some rookies do. So I really feel like my best years are ahead of me, and I have all that knowledge and experience from the last 7 years. So I'm really excited to see what these next few years have in store for me.
Zach, you mentioned Christian. Has he given you any sort of advice, feedback in terms of your contract situation? Because he was dealing with something like this
yourself 3 years ago?
So when he went through that, obviously we were together on the team, and we unspokenly kind of just said because we both were obviously I got extended that year as well, or I got extended that year. We keep that to ourselves. Every man has a different way of going about it. Everyone's got their own strategies, as you guys have hinted at earlier, and that's kind of how it's been. But it's whenever we do talk and keep up with each other, it's really checking in on each other's mental, see how we're doing, and just going into training camp. A lot of guys making sure your home life is all set before you get here, because if you're doing it right, 3 or 4 weeks, you're locked in, you're in football mode. Sadly, I mean, I'm not going to see my wife and child for 2-3 weeks, because these are the most crucial weeks to be out here and build this camaraderie, just have a fast start.
Zach, I know it's only been 2 days. What kind of challenges does Jonah pose for a defensive lineman?
Say that one more time, Trev.
Jonas Vaginaya.
Okay.
What challenges does he pose for a D lineman?
Okay, Jonas is obviously young. He has all the talent in the world. His frame's great. He has good feet. I'm excited to see him grow as a player. It's been awesome to work with him. And the old adage, iron sharpens iron. So the best thing to do is go out there and play against each other, make each other better. So it's been really cool seeing him and Pat Paul grow and work together, as well as all the guys across the line.
Zach, as far as individual recognition, how much would a Pro Bowl berth mean to you? We know you've had back-to-back 10-sack seasons. Is that a priority for you?
I wouldn't say it's a priority. Priority for me is doing the best every year that I can be, and being the best person on and off the field. I'm excited to see what this year has in store. I think that all the word and all the talk is up, but at the end of the day, I haven't done anything this year, and I got to go out there and do it this year.
Zach, you said you've never sworn.
Yeah.
So if we had a mic on you during
Go ahead.
the game, and you had
I think you have. I mean, we've had mics on me multiple times.
Well, if you're letting off steam, what's the worst that would come out of your mouth then?
I don't even know. I mean, I just don't. I just never have. Ever since like little elementary school, everyone started swearing whatever. I'm like, I'm not going to do that, and just kind of stuck with me the rest of my life. I don't know. You got to check the tape.
What sort of message do you think you're sending to the young guys by coming out and working every day despite the contract situation?
Man, so again, everyone's their own human. They can handle things how they want. This is how I choose to handle it. But I hope the message that puts out there is that, end of the day, we're here to play football. Now, obviously, that stuff's very important. That stuff's very important to me. The respect and the money that my family gets and makes from this game, we give it all on the line every single day. And I'm going to continue to do that every day. But to be able to go out there and work despite everything, I think I'm trying to show that you can go out there and play your best ball and still work through stuff without having to compartmentalize things.
Zach, your sack production obviously speaks for itself,
Yep.
but you also have a really nice resume of kind of setting the table for the guys at the front. Talk about building relationships and chemistry with the other guys. And you kind of walk through the chemistry a little bit and the anatomy of like setting picks for guys and twists and games and stuff like that.
Yep.
What's that process like for you guys as you work on feeling each other?
Yeah, absolutely. So you got to know how each other rush, especially with the new era of football. I don't know if you guys want to count how many stagnant quarterbacks there are. There's not a lot. So if you do a selfish rush, if you're rushing the edge, whatever, and you don't let somebody know, and they are doing the same, you can open up a massive void for someone to run down the hill and get a lot of yards on their legs, or open it up and then you put the back end in vulnerability. And at the end of the day, it's a team game. So what we do up front is going to affect the back end and vice versa. So if they try to jump a route and there's someone open behind them, there's issues. So being as a unit and knowing how to cover each other up and talk, and sometimes it's unspoken, but just building that trust and that camaraderie is the biggest thing up front for us.
Zach, one more thing on the cursing element. I do believe
Yeah.
you, by the way.
Okay.
I'm curious. I know you're a spiritual person.
Yeah.
Was there a core belief of why? I know you said it just started, but is there something that
Early on, that was it, and it still is. It's just try to stay clean, do what I can. We're all sinners, but obviously if you can limit it, I don't want to just live a life of sin. Try to be a better human every single day, and that was the biggest part of it growing up, and I still try to do that to this day.
All right, guys. The next person we're going to listen.
Your business depends on
The next person we're going to listen to is, give me 1 second, Patrick Paul.
Could you describe to us the studying you did of tape this offseason? Did you go back and look at all of your snaps? Did you do it with Tehran or any current or former teammates? Just what that process was like?
Yeah, definitely after the season, rewatched all my clips to see where I can improve at. And then I also studied other tackles across the league to, pick game from them and see how they were able to be successful in different situations.
Guys you studied include who?
Honestly, everyone. Probably every single tackle for all the 31 other teams. Yeah, just watching them I'm a real film junkie, so that's what I do. Yeah.
Anyone with similar body type that you saw, maybe the mirrors and stuff that they do?
I really like Trent. I like watching Trent. So, yeah.
Patrick, you're a big guy, even by NFL standards.
Yeah.
When we see you next to your teammates, it's easy to pick you out. I wonder, what is it like when you're out in public, out at maybe the mall or something? What's that like when people see a guy your size?
You know, a lot of it is curiosity. They're like, oh, what does he do for a living? They'll just look at you and see you're big. Most people don't say something, but if they do, they'll just ask if you play any sports.
What's any memorable exchange someone had?
Not to any knowledge. There's always a lot of funny ones, though. Yeah, definitely a lot of funny interactions.
Patrick, the onus of keeping Tua safe is on you and your offensive lineman teammates, knowing how well this team does when Tua's out there versus when he's not. Is there a pressure that you feel just specifically protecting Tua every down?
No, I don't feel any pressure. We work every day. We work hard in and out, the whole group. We're coached well, and we play with good fundamentals and techniques, so no pressure.
As a first-time starter, how have you gone about trying to develop that chemistry with the guard?
Me and Jonah, we hang out all the time. So throughout the offseason, me and him were here in this building every single day working. So naturally, when you spend that much time together, you're gelled like one. So, yeah.
That film study that you did, you came away thinking you had to improve where specifically from a technique standpoint?
My aspect and my mindset is that I want to improve in everything. So it's constantly working on everything, hand placement, feet, everything. So all aspects.
Carter Matos has the update in his movement, his extremities. What was that like, seeing a fellow lineman go down in just that moment and then kind of finding out he's okay?
It was awful. That's my brother. You know, we came in together last year, so definitely have him on my prayers. But he's doing good.
Have you talked to him or sent some text?
I reached out. Yeah.
How often do you think contact will be with Tehran during this camp? Did he leave it at, I'm going to call you occasionally, text you,
You know, he's getting into his media aspect of life, so when I see him, I see him.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much benefit do you feel the work that you got replacing Tehran every day, all training camp, all regular season, helped you in terms of letting the game slow down?
Definitely. You know, the repetition of it and just shadowing the guys who were in front of me, everyone on the offensive line, learning how they operated every single day, learning from them day in and day out. It was good, all the reps.
What makes Jaelan Phillips tough to go against in the run game off the
He's a big dude. You know, he's fast, he's physical, and he's a great player.
Just these last couple of days, how's it been against Chubb and Phillips, having both those guys back? I know you didn't really get to go against them last year, so.
Oh, shoot. We're getting after it. We're getting after it every single day, and it's going to be fun. I'm excited.
When you make a mistake, how do you balance grace versus being really hard on yourself? What's your process in that?
Oh, that's a great question. The balance is just knowing that if you do mess up or you make a mistake, knowing where you messed up and knowing how to fix it. And that's just with fundamentals and technique. If your fundamentals and technique is right, you're never going to lose. So just working on that and just getting that repetition.
I remember talking to you early in the offseason, and you have a lot of eagerness to take this starting role. Could you speak to that desire to be in the position that you are in now?
I love this game, and I love everything that it brings. So this has always been my dream. So every day I come in, and I'm excited. It's like Groundhog Day. I'm living my dream every day.
As you mentioned about year two, a lot of times players say that this offseason is football before you were training for the combine and drills. Tell me about what you're able to do this offseason and the difference in off seasons.
Definitely. Going into the rookie year, you know, you're in the underwear Olympics. So everything you're training for, 40 broad jump, 5'10", 5, that's all the way through the spring. And then when you get here, first off, you don't know where you're going to go. But when you get here, you have to relearn a whole new system, and you're a rookie. So it's a really long year for you. So going into year two, you get a real offseason to focus on what you need to work on. And now that you've been in the system for a year already, you just keep working your fundamentals.
What have you learned about Jonah as a guy since the time he's been here?
He's a great guy. That's my brother, so, you know, we're locked in, for sure.
You said no pressure in regards to Tua. That tells me you're a confident guy.
Definitely.
Has it always been that way for you, or did you kind of graduate to being this confident?
I've always been this confident. You know, it just comes from my parents, and my dad's a very confident man, and that's a guy I look up to, so I learned from him, and I know what I can.
All right, guys. So far, Zach Zieler has talked about being a leader if the contract situation has affected him, and what he's told the rookies. And Patrick Wall has talked about protecting Tua. What is it like, the difference from the first year to the second year? Who has he bonded with the most? And ironically, it's been Jonah. So that's basically what they've talked about in these two interviews. Before we continue with the press conferences, I'm going to go ahead and pop up the update about Matos and then read it to you, and then pop up another update since Artie Burns got a season-ending injury. The Miami Dolphins have signed a cornerback, but it's pretty much, to me, a camp body. It's not a cornerback that's going to compete for position. Here's the update on Matos. Brian Matos sustained an injury at the end of Wednesday's practice and was transported to the Ryder Trauma Center at Jackson Memorial Hospital, where he remained overnight for evaluation and testing. He has movement in all his extremities and is in stable condition. He will remain in the care of doctors for continued observation. And this is from Brett Tessler from Tessler Sports. The Miami Dolphins are signing my client, Cornell Armstrong, cornerback Southern Miss, to a one-year deal. A-year vet is returning to the team that drafted him in 2018. Now we're going to go ahead and listen to the presser of Chop Robinson.
Hey Chop, I saw Ryan broken on some boxing gloves with you guys. What's that drill called and what's the significance of it?
I mean, it's just a reaction time. When the offensive lineman throwing their hands at you, it's just a quicker reaction time. So we do that most of the time before practice, so it's just a reaction type of testing thing.
Chop, it seemed like the front seven had a good day today. Tell me what you thought and how could that help the secondary as it continues to evolve and develop?
I mean, just the energy everybody brought from the D-line to the outside linebackers to the linebackers. Is everybody bringing the same energy. So if one person got the energy, everybody going to adapt to it. And then when you got the front seven doing their job, it's easy for the back end.
On top of energy, what's been the benefit of having 2 and 15 back out there in practice?
I mean, it's been great, especially those guys since they helped me so much last year off the field and on the field. So being out there on the field with them, and they're guys that I used to watch when I was in college and everything. So it's a blessing and it's fun to be out there with them.
You got sharing moves at all? You know, like your quintessential move, your long arms or the spins or anything like that?
Not really moves, but I pick their brains and we pick each other's brains. That's it.
What do you think of the addition of Minka and the versatility you could bring to the defense?
I mean, it's great having somebody like that, all-pro guy in the back end is just a blessing for us. He put time for us, get us time to get to the quarterback, and if we get there, we give him time to get interceptions and stuff like that.
John, what was something you keyed in on this offseason to improve individually?
Honestly, everything. The first thing I did was just take a mental break from football, coming from the combine and everything, but then getting back to it, I watched film with my coach, watched film with my D-line coach, Coach Tank at home, and I just worked on it from there.
We look at sacks a lot to tell if an edge rusher is being effective. What do you look at to determine if you've been effective?
I mean, for me, it's just making plays that need to be made.
And tell me about that. I mean, how have you done? I mean, the edge and things like that, turning plays back inside. How do you think you've progressed in some of those areas?
I think I did good. A lot of people was talking about me saying I couldn't stop the run and stuff like that. But it's a lot of clips out there of me setting the edge and stuff like that. But I don't listen to the outside noise. I just work on my craft and just do what I do every day.
Does your approach change from year 1 to year 2 in camp, like where you maybe have a little more comfort building the defense, so you can maybe work on some more technique, or how does that balance?
Yeah, it's definitely different from year 1 to year 2. It's not a lot of pressure. I'm comfortable with the playbook, comfortable with the guys out here, understanding offensive tackles, things like that. So it's way more comfortable year 2 than compared to year 1.
Chop, I know Kenneth Graham is big and fast, but playing alongside him, how have you seen his acclimation to kind of NFL speed?
Yeah, I mean, for his size, he's always been a fast guy. So going out there, just doing what he did in college is kind of similar to what he's doing now, just taking what he did in college and just bringing it to the NFL. So I think he's going to be a great player, and I'm excited to play next to him.
You mentioned setting the edge against the run. Where do you feel you're at in that area, and what have been the key teaching points that you've honed in on?
I mean, for me, I guess you guys, time will tell when you see week 1 or preseason. And the keys are just getting off the ball, setting the edge, closing my gap, playing inside gap and stuff like that. So just doing my job.
Chuck, you mentioned the pressure. Thanks. You mentioned the pressure a minute ago. What was it like inside dealing with that being a high draft pick and everything last year?
I mean, it's a lot. Not only just being the draft pick, it's just coming in from not really doing football stuff. You go from the combine to top 30 visits and then coming straight here to getting into camp. So it's a lot of pressure with that, not just being the first round pick. So when you're finished with that, it's way different than year one.
You mentioned just kind of the full off season compared to the combine and everything. Do you change your body at all? Do you add weight, lose weight, do anything different?
I mean, for me, I stayed around the same weight, just cut down my body fat. So I'm up in muscle mass and lower body fat.
Chopper, no pads today and yesterday, but have you gone against Patrick Paul much? And if so, what have you noticed about him?
Yeah, I went against him probably like twice. Same thing as last year. He a big guy. He can move for his size. He got long arms. He's strong up top. So it's a battle every day going against Patrick Paul.
How do you balance, grace with being hard on yourself, knowing it's year two?
I mean, for me, it's just taking it one day at a time. I know the type of guy I am. I know the type of player I could be. So I just don't put too much pressure on myself. Taking one day at a time. I have a bad day. The next day I just forget about it.
Chop, to follow up on Cam's question, do you stay here during the off season, or do you go home, or you just work with at the Dolphins?
I go back home to Maryland. I train with my trainer, Coach Pat, and then my D-line coach, Coach Tank.
All right, they asked Chop what was different from year one to year two. How does he know he's doing well rushing the passers? And what does he do during the offseason? And that's basically what they spoke about. Now we're going to listen to Mr. Stonehands. I like to call him Julian Hill. I still don't understand why he's still on the team when there's better tight ends out there. But that's just my opinion. And to me, there's younger tight ends that should have be given a shot.
Of course, but the opportunity seems there to win a starting job. Does that excite you?
For sure. I mean, I feel like the opportunity is always there. Every time you're in the room, everybody has the opportunity to be something and do something. And, I wish Jonnu the best in Pittsburgh. What he taught me this past year from the start of the season to the end, man, was unbelievable. So I'm so thankful that I had a chance to play with that guy, man. You saw what he did, for the tight end. Being a tight end on the Dolphins, man, he's breaking records. Come on, man, I got to watch that. You know what I mean? So I'm so excited for him to see what he does in Pittsburgh, and I can't wait to see him when we go play him.
Do you feel like you're ready to be a starting NFL tight end?
Yes.
And the growth that you've had, you think, over the last off-season would be in what areas specifically?
All areas. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all areas. Just run blocking, understanding that, you don't always have to, put a guy on his back. You always have this aggressive mindset. Yeah, you got to be physical, but it's a way to do it. You know what I mean? It's like I said at the end of the season last year. I think in the beginning of the season, I started off shaky, undisciplined in a lot of areas because I was just trying to overdo my job. I wasn't focused on just doing my job. Sometimes that's good enough. You know what I mean? So this off season, focus on that. I can learn how to just do my job and let the other guys make it right. You know what I mean? And you saw at the later end of the season, man, things started to digress, all those penalties. That was a big talk. But, it's part of the game, and this year I plan to, cut that out. You know what I mean? So.
How much do practice penalties bother you? We saw one, but there were a ton of penalties out there. They not you specifically. But when you get one, like one out there today, how tough are you on yourself? What do you do in the aftermath of it?
Yeah, for sure. You're not really – of course you're frustrated, but it's the beginning of the camp. Everybody's trying to get on the same page. Whether that's whatever we're doing. So, you don't really stress too much on it. In the play, you're frustrated, but we got to move on. Let's go. Let's next play mentality.
One other thing, your takeaway, Julian, from your meeting with Embry after last season, what did he say that stuck with you?
You got the talent. No more surviving, just thrive. Yes, sir.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Julian, what can you tell us about Baron Matos? Obviously, got hurt yesterday. Get the good news today that his feelings in his extremities, but football's a brutal game. That happens, and maybe some insight into him as a person as well.
Man, he's a great person. He's teaching me Spanish. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's a great person, loving. One of the biggest guys on the team, but he's a big teddy bear off the field. On the field, man, he has a great mindset. He attacks every day, and we're glad we heard some news that he's doing better. We loving that, and so yeah.
Has Coach indicated that the amount of targets Jonnu got are available for that tight end position, or is that a specific thing with Jonnu because of his talent?
You want me to be honest? Yeah. Man, I literally tell you this. We go out every day, especially that tight end room, how Embry coaches us, man. It's about doing your job. If the ball comes to you, it comes to you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. What Jonnu did last year, it was that same mentality. You know what I mean? And the more he got more opportunities, the more he showed, you know what I mean? So Embry, he tells us that every day, just do your job. But we love the run block. You know what I mean? That's that room. We love run blocking. We love getting after it. And if we get lucky and treated with the ball that Tua throws us, you know, we're going to try to make the most of it.
Beyond Kittle, any other tight ends you've studied over the last year on tape?
Yeah, man, I like Charlie Warner, man. He's a great run blocker. He's gotten paid to run block. You know what I mean? We're very similar. I've been watching him since my rookie year, and just to see how he's developed. You know, he played in this offense for many years, so I've been trying to break down Charlie Warner and just, you know, learn how he gets it done, how he gets the job done.
Yeah. Do you remember watching Waller when you were at Campbell? Those
yeah,
his glory years.
Yeah, man. Darren was he was a beast, man. And how he catches the ball, and again, he's another Jonnu, man. He can catch that ball and get some yak, and has a great mindset. He's a great teammate, you know, thus far. Everything he tells us, everything he's putting us on game with, already day one, man. He's putting up a good front. Yeah, he's doing good.
Thanks, Julian. Appreciate it.
For sure.
Tuesday, Bradley Chubbs in the post conference said, "They talk, we do," and it kind of went viral. That was a message he said Coach has been preaching to you guys, and it stuck out to him. What's the total message that he has been saying that has stuck out to you?
Yeah, man, just focus on internal. A lot of people gonna create narratives. A lot of people gonna say what they want to say, and you know, you can't. You signed up for it. You signed that contract. So you know, you getting here into this moment. No matter what somebody says externally about what you do, who you are, how you do it, you signed up for that. But what you didn't, what people don't know is what's going on internally, what's in-house. So let people say what they want to say, let people do and talk, and however they want to frame you. You come out, we come out, and let's make sure we doing what we're supposed to do.
All right, guys, you spoke about Coach Emery, you spoke about Jonnu Smith, and the fact that he left to Pittsburgh. He wishes him the best in Pittsburgh, what he learned from Jonnu Smith, and he spoke about Matos, and that he's happy that Matos is feeling better, and that the injury is not as severe as they originally thought, and what he's learned from different tight ends around the league. But like I said, I think to me, Rucci has a better set of skills than he does. He's more of a run-blocking tight end than a pass-catching tight end, and I think we need a starting tight end that can run block and catch passes instead of having these different type of tight ends. That's just my opinion. But let's continue with the next press conference. And the next press conference is Jaylen Wright.
Just me being disciplined, you know, being disciplined in my responsibility. Not you know, just putting the ball in the right spot. You know, not every run's gonna be clean. So you know what I did today, I was just being patient, just waiting for the opportunity to happen, just putting the ball in the right spot. The line will eventually like clean it up, and when they clean it up, that's when I flourish. So.
To that end, I mean, you had one nice like cutback, right? What did you see on that play that kind of allowed you to get to where you need to be? I'm
just pressing the blocks, read them inside out, and then me being patient, using my patience, and then me using my ability that God blessed me with, just to burst through the hole, and when I see it, I'm hitting 100 miles per hour.
Jaylen, obviously you have to earn your playing time and your opportunities, but does it feel like in the running back room from the get-go you'll have, with Raheem gone, more of a chance to get the ball more this year?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, we all gonna eat. That's how I look at it. We all gonna eat. Me, Devon, Deuce, and Ollie. When we all get the opportunity, we're going to all flourish. We all lean on each other. We all work together. So, it's going to be great.
What's the biggest noticeable difference without Raheem, and what's, the best lesson you learned from him when he was here?
I mean, the big noticeable difference, is just my rep count. My reps went up. What I learned, I learned from him. I learned a lot from Raheem, just being patient. When things not happening, just being patient. And that's what I do. Just when the runs are not clean, just be patient and keep putting the ball in the right spot, and eventually it's going to pop. So. A lot. Last year I didn't, the system I came from, Tennessee, we never ran like outside zone, wide zone, stuff like that. It's just, just me studying, watching film, just me being disciplined. Like I just keep saying discipline because that's what it is, just staying the course, and then, just putting the ball in the right spot. So.
Do you think patience is one of the biggest areas that you feel like you've grown from year one to year two?
Definitely. Last year, it was just me out there, I'm just running. Now I know where to look. I know where the defender's going to be. I know the concept. I know where the runs are supposed to hit. So that's the biggest step for me from year one to year two.
Any difference in your body? Gain weight, lose weight,
trimmer,
definitely bulked up, definitely. Worked hard in the off season. Just to gain more muscle, lose a lot of fat, just keep my speed. Still got my speed. Just definitely stronger. I feel faster. I feel great, so I'm ready to go.
Last year, I believe McDaniel put Xavien and Mostert as co-starters on the depth chart. What kind of feeling does that give you going into this training camp, knowing that you might have an equal opportunity like that?
It's a great feeling. I'm blessed to have an opportunity. I'm going to take advantage of all my opportunities I get. That dog can come out. Whenever I get that ball, whenever y'all see me, it's going to be a lot of big things this year. So I'm very confident and very blessed for this opportunity. So
it's been a small sample size, but how do you see the line kind of gelling together?
Oh, I see it. We got Pat Paul, and AJ. Pat Paul and AJ, and then we got our new rookie guard. We all, all of them working together, even Brew, all of them working together, man. It's going to be really great. So, I'm really praying that everybody stays healthy and we all stick together throughout the whole season because everybody stay healthy. It's going to be real dangerous in that back.
All right, guys. Jaylen Wright spoke about they asked him what's the biggest difference that Raheem Mostert's not here anymore. He said he's going to get more reps, that he's learned the system from year one and year two more, and that he never ran outside his own scheme in Tennessee. So it took him a year to get used to it. Last year he was just running. So that's what pretty much he spoke about. And just getting in better shape. Next press conference, Zach Wilson.
So what was the wedding like? What's the update?
It was a movie. Amazing. Would have never thought I'd be getting married in New York, but it was truly special. Back where my wife is now from, so it was really cool to do that. And then we got to do another reception back in Utah, where my family's at too. So it was pretty special couple weeks.
Zach, how is this organization different or similar than your previous one?
Yeah, it's hotter. I would say, there's things every team kind of carries over, but then there's kind of an identity that every team kind of grabs onto, and I think our coaches do a great job of that. I'm not going to share exactly what that is, but I feel like when they have a plan of what they feel like works, they're going to do everything they can to get it there, and I think they do a great job, especially for the quarterback position, like teaching us how to play with confidence and conviction and just letting it rip and, being process-oriented and just focusing on every single day improving and getting better.
What's it been like working with Tua so far?
Yeah, he's great. He's a lot of fun to be around. He knows how to run this offense really well. He operates at a high level, and it's great for me to see, to try and replicate of how I need to operate in this offense as well.
I'm sorry, Zach. I know you talked to you about throwing to spots and anticipating in this offense. The progress you've made, we've seen it the first couple of days. How much progress have you made, do you think, in that regard?
Yeah, I think it's been good. I feel like I've been playing, more on time, but I think it's just consistently getting even better. And I think as camp goes on, I'll feel more of that. And but I feel like I worked on a lot of these things over the last 40 days that I feel good when I'm able to go out there and do some of them coming into camp.
All right, guys. Quickly, I'm going to read to you some notes from day 2 of training camp, and then give you my final thoughts. News and notes highlighted, and this is from Barry Jackson and Omar Kelly and Isaiah Smalls. News and notes highlighted and observations from day 2 of Dolphins training camp. Practice on Thursday in Miami Gardens. First, some encouraging news. Offensive lineman Byron Matos.
You should stand corrected. Good morning. False. Great morning.
Byron Matos. Hold on. Basically, they repeated what I said. Matos was injured during an inadvertent collision with a teammate where he ran into the defensive lineman when his head was lowered and took the brunt of the impact, his agent said. Tua Tagovailoa had a pretty good day. He completed a 20-yarder to Jaylen Waddle, but Cater prevented the completion on a Tua Tagovailoa pass to Tyreek Hill. But later, Tagovailoa hit Hill for a 10-yarder, his first catch in the earliest stages of training camp. And a few minutes later, Tua hit Hill on a 25-yarder. Tua completed a 22-yard pass to Waddle and contorted his body to make a nice catch. Practice ended with the Tua incompletion to Waddle. Kohu had very good coverage on the incomplete pass from Tagovailoa to Hill. Cohu disrupted Hill's route. Among Thursday's mishaps, Malik Washington fumbled after a completion, and rookie safety Dante Trader Jr. recovered it. Waddle dropped what should have been an easy completion over the middle. Penalties, tripoded 3 straight plays, and a combination of false starts and offsides. 5 more penalties followed later. There were at least 4 false start penalties. Devon Achane's speed and burst were on display for 2 long runs that could have gone for touchdowns. Rookie running back Ollie Gordon II made a nifty move to escape a defender on a 4-yard run, but another Gordon run was stuffed by Quentin Bell. Center Aaron Brewer remained away from practice and was wearing a compression sleeve on his right leg. Andrew Meyer continues to get a lot of work at center. Also, Thursday, Matos and cornerback Aaron Burns, who feared to have torn an ACL. Also out Thursday, Matos and cornerback Artie Burns, who is feared to have torn an ACL. Safety Fatu Malafalo, who is on a non-football injury watch practice from the sidelines. Coach Mike McDaniel said his issue is nothing serious. Defensive lineman Benito Jones wore an orange jersey bestowed on the standout in the previous day's practice. Linebacker Bradley Chubb, who missed last season with 3 major knee injuries in Week 17 of 2023, was no longer wearing a knee brace that he used during Wednesday's session. Tight end Tanner Connor, who had fumbled Wednesday, came back strong Thursday by extending his arms on a sideline throw for a 20-yard reception from Tua Tagovailoa, and then catching a 25-yarder from Zach Wilson. Linebacker Chop Robinson had a quarterback pressure that could easily have been ruled a sack. Linebacker Derek McClendon and defensive lineman Matt Dickerson combined on a sack. Zach Wilson was pretty good, completing a 20-yarder to Tyreek Black and a 25-yarder to Connor. Eric Azukama then dropped a long pass from Wilson. Ethan Bonner and Trader had good coverage, but it probably should have been caught. Azukama failed to haul in another pass from Wilson, but there was good coverage on the play. Wilson overthrew a deep pass to Malik Washington, with Patrick Memorius providing good coverage. Rookie quarterback Quinn Ewers completed a 20-yard pass to Malik Washington. Ewers and a 15-yard pass to rookie tight end Jaylen Conyers in 7-on-7 work, but an errant Ewers pass was nearly intercepted by second-year cornerback Ryan Cooper Jr. Linebacker Jaylen Phillips stuffed H.A. for a 1-yard loss on a running play. New guard James Daniels, coming off a torn Achilles in Week 14 last season, participated in 2 sets of drills after participating only in one on Wednesday. The Dolphins are practicing from 9:15 a.m. on Friday and Saturday before taking Sunday off. Saturday's practice is the first one open to the public. Jaylen Wright had a nice cutback on a sizable run. Alec Ingalls stood up Jalen Phillips on the play. Bonner had a good day preventing a completion from Tagovailoa to Hill. Bell drew a holding penalty on Julian Hill. Mo Kamara had a nice play to stop a running back in the backfield. Safety Minka Fitzpatrick appeared to be giving Tua Tagovailoa some tips. In an animated teaching point, Jaylen Wright finished his speed on a 15-yard run. Flashed his speed on a 15-yard run. Reporter, okay. All right, guys, I like that Fitzpatrick is giving advice to Tua because he's been in the league longer than Tua, and he's able to see other things that Tua might not see on a play. Guys, like always, stay positive, stay on your grind, and I appreciate the support. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you've seen the channel before but haven't subscribed. But I like the support, and like always, stay positive, stay on your grind, and go Dolphins. Peace.